Push Fed Podcast in full effect. We have a very special guest in the building. We have, curly hair demon, Jabril, King Bril in the building. How you doing, brother?
What's good, man? Push Fit Podcast, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. So we're going to get it kicked off like this, yo. So you been in Charlotte for how long now?
It was 7 years, about 7 years.
About 7 years
yeah.
now. Are you from Charlotte?
No, I'm from the 252, the east side, North Carolina, country boy. I moved over here for college.
Okay, cool. So you just came down here for college.
Yeah.
So you were D1 athlete in school?
Yeah, D1 athlete.
Okay. Talk about that.
So I actually walked on. Basically, I was at UNCG before I came to Charlotte. And I'm used to playing sports, basketball, football, everything like that. And when I got to UNCG, I was just a regular person, and I was like, yo, this shit is boring. This is boring. So I had to start training, start studying. And I was like, okay, let me see. Okay, the track team here isn't very prominent, so let me see if I can do that at another school. And Charlotte was the best looker.
Right. So Charlotte wasn't the biggest, one of the biggest track schools in the state or something?
I didn't choose it because they actually were, but I didn't choose it because of that.
Okay.
I more so just chose it because I knew that they had a emerging football team, and what UNCG didn't have was a football team. So me originally wanted to be a strength and conditioning coach. I'm like, yo, I have to learn from a school with a football conditioning program, and then to run track, the track team has to be prominent. So Charlotte's one of the best, you know what I'm saying? One of the best. So
and so when you were running track and being an athlete, how did that impact you towards school and that balance of school and stuff like that? How did that impact you?
I didn't have a social life, not because of the time, because football players got to make more of a time commitment,
right.
But I just, I had a shorty at the time, and I would just chill with her, calf, homework, track. That's all I was really focused on. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was really focused on when I was running.
So do you think being in college was had a major factor of how you look at things now, being in the position you're in, okay, just give a little backstory on King Bril. So King Bril is a YouTuber as well. How many subscribers do you have right now?
I think we passed 171,000.
171,000.
Yeah.
And he blew up off give it a backstory of how you blew up and stuff like that.
All right, so basically coming about my senior year in college, I just decided to grow my hair out and stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm normally known for the guy, brown skin, dimples with waves and stuff, so it was a thing. So when I started growing my hair out, I didn't know what I was doing.
All right.
So it's one thing when the guys are frying you, but when girls will come up, in a sincere way and be like, "Hey, Jabril, can you cut that?" I'm like, "Yo, you don't. We're not even that close for you to come up to be on that sincere tip." So then I start actively trying to get better at it, understand, talk to different women, understand okay, how do you take care of this shit? So what happened was a couple months later, I eventually figured it out. And I'm like, okay, at this point in time, I always loved YouTube. And I was just looking at how people blew up on YouTube, so I'm studying stuff. And, by the time I actually come around to make my own YouTube video, I know exactly how to, get in, qualify for SEO, and I understand my demographic. So I understand, black guys, when you grow up, well, I don't even know if it's just black, but when you grow up, you're 12, 14, even 18, 21, 25, when you want to grow your hair out, it's very simplistic. You go to Google or YouTube and how to grow your hair out.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, boom, I know exactly how somebody like me is searching for this. So I made everything, and I tailored it, made it shorter. I didn't talk about how I was feeling, my schoolwork, didn't try to get too long-winded, made them real short, compact, and the market loved it because no one else that looked like me was doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then when did you start seeing your interest increasing?
Okay, because I had been studying YouTube for watching YouTube and studying it for so long, by the time I actually made it, I hit the ground running. My fourth YouTube video went viral. It went viral. So I was making it every single week. So I made one video a week. So at the first month, the shit went viral, and I was just doing it, you know what I'm saying?
And so, bro, talk about how, then you got the story about how you went viral on the Serum.
Oh, shit.
I thought that's how you got viral originally.
Nah.
I thought that's how, I was like, oh, man, this Bril gone viral off the straight hair.
So it's okay. So boom. So I graduate, start YouTube, and that summer, I think that's yeah, okay. I think that's 2019 summer. So my videos going viral. I'm making videos every week. You know, my YouTube's popping. I probably got about 40,000 subscribers, and I worked at a gym. And I worked at a gym, and a lot of the women who were giving me hair advice, they were at the gym, BBT Fitness. You know, shout out to my dog Tyler. So it's at a point where I'm growing my hair. I'm walking around with, you know, twists and braids and stuff, and they're like, it's like to pick on me about my hair, my curls. It's like a common topic at the gym and whatnot. So what happened was, it was coming up in October. I was arguing with my clients like, yo, get your ass in the gym. October's coming, homecoming. We understand Halloween's, you want to go out because, you know, it's not super hot no more, so you can get dressed, but you need to be at the gym at least 4 days a week. And we make a bet. So we make this bet, and I did it with no faith at all. I'm like, listen, you come to the gym in 4 weeks, I'll do whatever you want. She's like, okay, bet. You gotta perm your hair. And I'm like, all right, bet. Let's do it.
Hey, did you really think they was going to do that?
Bro, listen, they have never been that consistent.
Never been that committed a day in their life.
Every single day of that month. And even it got to the point where I think there was 5 weeks in that month. So they did 4 weeks, and I tried to get out of it. And I was like, nah, it's another week in the month. We bet about the month, not 4 weeks.
Right.
They came that, and I was like, you know what? So I didn't actually perm it, but I got a silk press.
That show was mad fluffy, bro. That show was mad bouncy.
I got a silk press. I had my shit wrapped up and whatnot, right? So I'm in the gym, and they like, nah, you can't walk around with the joint on. You gotta let us see it.
You gotta let us.
That's when the whole. So I took it off, and I guess because I took off the scarf, it had like bounce.
It had bounce to that motherfucker.
And they were like, swing it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the connotation behind that. So that was the actual girl that I bet were the ones in the gym saying that, and then the shit went crazy, bro.
Yo, so did you like get tagged or something? How'd you find out that, like, you know, the Shade Room had picked it up?
Yeah, and they started
tagging you.
So I put it on, and this is the beauty of understanding social media, right? Like, Twitter really leads stuff like Twitter, because it's like timely. It really leads a lot of the content or like information, or even jokes that for all social media. So I put it on Instagram, and it went crazy, but that's still not the Shade Room. I put it on Twitter. When I put it on Twitter, the shit went nuts. The shit went nuts. And then I see it on Facebook, you know, a couple weeks later and whatnot. And then somebody tagged me like, hey, the Shade Room posted this, da-da-da-da-da. And yeah, man. So it was, I put it on Instagram. It went crazy. I put it on Twitter. Then the Shade Room posted it. Then it was on Facebook.
And so, man, that actually is an eye opener, though. I mean, well, it's like stuff you kind of know, but you don't really actually, you know, think about it at the time. Like you were talking about how Twitter is like the leading thing for information, whereas, you know, if you go into Instagram, you're looking at posts and stuff like that, and it's kind of like how interesting it is how social medias are like sectioned off by like information and stuff like that. I would have never thought that it came from Twitter. But first, then it came from Instagram. I would think Instagram had it, then like it would have kind of trickled off. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. So and then like, what do you think about social media as a whole? Like you being up there and having different parts of social media, you have to kind of tailor yourself to different aspects. How do you feel about social media now as a whole?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say that social media is like many things in life. It's a double-edged sword. It could be like almost like a gun, you know, in the wrong hands, you know, you can do a lot of damage to your mental, very fast, you know, on social media. But, you know, with the right intentions, a strong mind, and, you know, just keeping your head in the right place, making sure you're taking care of yourself, man, you can feed your family, you can feed your entire family, set up generational wealth, and learn how to do those two things on social media, man.
And what do you think is the next trend for social media?
The next trend?
Yeah, do you think? Do you see anything kind of rumbling?
That'd be tough, man, because we had that whole, when we were in the house, because us coming outside, it changed everything.
Yeah. Right.
When we were in the house, Clubhouse was going,
was the thing.
Yeah, Clubhouse was going crazy, but, you know, us coming back outside, it'd be hard to tell. It really would be hard to tell. You talking? What do you mean as far as what's the next trend?
I guess, like, you know, what's coming, like, what do you think is coming up on the horizon? You know, like, I mean, like, I thought Clubhouse was going to be the next thing. Yeah. I mean, Clubhouse is still kind of, you know, prevalent, so to speak, in like certain aspects, but I thought it was going to boom a lot bigger than it did.
For sure.
but I don't know. I just don't know about. I just want to know like what it is that you think that. I think all these social medias are probably are most likely here to stay. But do you see anything else like trending, like coming about? Any new apps, any new like things that you see that's coming up over the horizon?
Okay. I don't actually see. I think TikTok is still, even though people are kind of getting used to it, people underestimate TikTok still, even though it's popping. Like, a lot of the strength that Instagram gets are Instagram Reels, and they come from TikTok. You know what I'm saying? That whole train of thinking. And I think that, I guess millennials, like, us, 24 and older, Instagram is it. There are other apps that, make sense you might use, but Instagram is, the scoreboard of life. You feel me? But the younger generation, like my little brother, like, 16, 17, 18, 19, they don't look at Instagram like that. Most of them don't even have Instagrams. I know this because, my YouTube subscribers, I have younger ones.
Right.
They don't even look like it. I think they use Snapchat more so. Right. So just like Facebook, it doesn't, like for us, Instagram is always going to be that. But what's going to happen is there's going to be like a minimum age to where it just won't matter as much.
Right. So
if you're 35, Facebook might be that thing.
Right.
And at a certain age, they keep Facebook, and then I guess 28, they're more Instagram is the main thing. And then what we see now is the bottom of the bottom age, the minimum age of Instagram.
Right.
To where 19-year-olds, Instagram is not as important no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it'd be hard to tell you the next app, but I will say that there's still a lot of room on TikTok, bro. And just TikTok content.
And then, I mean, like, yeah, speaking of that, I didn't even know. Okay, so I was like, we also had a couple TikTokers there at UNCC, and one of them that's like a big one. I don't know if you know who DT is, but he went to UNCC, and when he first told me, when he first got there as a freshman, he got there as a freshman. He first told me, I didn't even I wasn't even thinking about it. Like he said, "Oh yeah, I'm on this new app called this TikTok," and I'm like, okay. Nobody, it wasn't like relevant at the time. Lo and behold, now he's like at a mill now. Like, yeah, so now he's growing. So he grew within that years, and nobody knew type thing. So that's why I had asked,
So does he play football?
No, he played basketball back in high school.
Okay.
Back in high school, he didn't play basketball for Charlotte. He just was he just went to school there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that. So when he was there, I didn't even know like TikTok was like even a thing until it came through. But speaking of like YouTube, what do you think are like some of the challenges there in like growing your platform?
For YouTube specifically?
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same, bro, with all social media. The main problem is that people don't have a target audience. Like they get up, make content, whether it be for YouTube, TikTok, or whatever it is, and they don't know who they're talking to. They're just talking, and really they are making things for their self. So like how you got Facebook photos, and it's more so they treat every platform like Facebook versus Facebook is the only one. They treat it as, okay, this is a photo book for me, my friends' videos, my lifestyle. This is all about me. Versus on these platforms, there's so many like attention grabbing things because it's the new TV. The people who are winning are the people who are making things for a specific group of people. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be the main thing. Just really understand who you're talking to. Who you're talking to. That's the biggest mistake across any social media platform, YouTube, anything.
Okay. Oh, that actually makes sense. And then your platform is based off hair care. And so you have a line. Let's get into Rich Royals. Okay. So you have a line, Rich Royals.
Rich Royals.
And how did that concept come about, by the way?
So when my YouTube was popping off, like the guys joking, eventually the jokes turned into, hey man, you might as well sell haircare products now. And
lo and behold, right?
About the 16th joke, and roast session, I was like,
who was clowning you, by the way?
My LBs, man.
Yeah, you might have to give them a little percentage off that.
No, hell no. Listen, I took that.
You had to take that. Okay.
Took that and run with it, but but yeah, man. I just took it and ran with it. About the 16th joke or whatever, I was like, you know what, I should actually, sell hair products because I done studied all these ingredients, made myself a chemist trying to understand my own shit. I might as well make it so other people, hey, like you don't understand or care about ingredients, you trust me, just take this. Right. That's what I wanted to do for other people, especially other men, man.
And then Rich Royals is actually what, like it's a couple brands, couple products, right?
Yes, so it's one brand. It's a couple products. So Rich Royals is a luxury natural hair care. We manufacture natural luxury hair care. I don't know. I can't get it out today, but for kinky and curly hair, men and women. Type 4, some type 3 hairs, if you guys know what that is. But yeah, it's great for as far as moisturization. People with that caliber hair, the most important thing is getting moisture. You know what I'm saying? But within whatever type of hair you have, there are different methods and avenues and ingredients that work best for keeping your hair moisturized and getting it moisturized. So we have a plethora of ingredients from products from mainly our deep conditioner, honey, hibiscus, a lot of things like that, tea tree oil, our leave-in conditioners. They've been out of stock. We're trying to get those back in, but pandemic, so it's a little sticky dealing with getting certain ingredients, so we had to discontinue some products. Our new watermelon shampoo is coming out. It's probably going to be in the next 3 weeks. Fire. Yeah, 3 weeks, man. Yeah, the formula's all set up to go, but we're just handling some design things, trying to make sure everything's still, the brand is still like it's supposed to be. But yeah, man, it's looking good. And then our Majestic Mint Oil, we had to change it. We had this product called the Royal Growth Serum, and everybody loved it. It was growing the results. It was growing people's hair so much, but because rosemary can be so strong at certain points, I had a lot of clients who wanted to use it for their face, for their beards, and putting rosemary on your face every day might not be the best if you have sensitive skin. If you don't have sensitive skin or you have combination skin, it won't kill you. But I had to kind of change up some of the ingredients. So okay, you guys can use it for your beard now. So it's mainly peppermint, and it still has rosemary in it. So the Majestic Mint Oil, man, and yeah, we're rocking and rolling, man. Definitely on the lookout. Possibly a wave grease, possibly, other products and edge control, things like that. People have been asking me for it, but, I'm just in the lab, trying to make the formulas and make sure that it's actually what it's supposed to be.
And then, well, when I was thinking about, like, just growing out, I grew out my so-called beard throughout the pandemic because, I couldn't really grow. I could grow it out during like a stage, but it was before the pandemic, so it was always out, so it looked ugly. It was like it would look bad.
What you mean?
So like like when you first started growing the beard, like when was growing my beard, it was like that ugly nappy pubic looking stage, yeah. And so it was like, and it was hard to kind of like. Not even take care of it, just like, all right, wake up in the morning and like look at it. Like I'm just like, so it was when I was in the house during the pandemic, so I was like, ain't nobody gonna see it, so I'm just see what it does. And so learning that, okay, it's two things I want to talk about: the different types of hair. Yeah. Okay. And knowing that you can't use certain products on your face, like for your beard as well as on your head, because I didn't know that at first, because I was thinking like, okay, it's hair, so I can use my shampoo for my head my head on my face, and that's not the case.
So with that,
or is that right? Am I right about that?
Not necessarily, but it's good thinking. The thing is, generally people say if you can use it on your head, you can use it on your face, but it's not. They say it's not the other way around. But that's not really true. What it is the stuff that you're using on your beard, you're not really supposed to be like some of the beard kits, just looking at those ingredients and understanding, hey, if you don't feel comfortable putting it in your hair, you shouldn't feel comfortable putting it on your face. You know what I mean? So just looking out for certain silicones, certain alcohols, certain sulfates, and like certain shampoos, they're just not meant for kinky hair people, because they don't serve us best. If you had a lot looser texture of hair, then you can definitely use those. They'd be good, like some of the Sense and Blues, the Head and Shoulders. Most of it's like shampoo. You just go grab the shampoo, put it in your hair. You don't really look at the ingredients, and that's where we've come this far in terms of hair care, natural hair care, and understanding what ingredients work best for kinky hair people. But as far, because the industry with beard care is led by men still, we're still kind of in the, it says beard, it must be good. Like, it must be good for our hair. Right. Versus, looking at the ingredients like, man, I can't use that. I shouldn't use that type thing.
What should people look out for? Because I'm learning right now. Cause like, what should people look out for? Like, if you say, okay, you can't use it on your head, if you can't use it on your head, you can't use it. If you can't use it on your head, you can't use it on your beard, but it's not the other way around. But what should people look out for when, you know, doing like beard stuff and stuff like that? What kind of chemicals we shouldn't like use in our beard and stuff like that?
So the main thing you look out for is sulfate. And sulfate is one of those things where it causes the clean. You know what I'm saying? So like suds, the sudsiness, that comes from like a sulfate.
Oh, okay.
But what happens is it can be too cleansing. You know what I'm saying? There's like a threshold to the point where it strips your hair of like its natural sebums.
And it dries it out?
And it dries it out. So it's clean as hell, but it's dry.
Okay.
So the sulfate is going to be the major one. You don't have to completely eradicate everything that says sulfate, but you want to be very intentional about if I'm using this. Let's say if my hair is really dirty and I want to use something that I know is going to clean, it might have sulfate in it. Right. I have got to make sure I check every box as far as moisturization. Like I got to deep condition it, let it sit, and make sure my hair is re-moisturized, make sure, you know, I give it a little oil and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's the main. Sulfate is going to be the main thing. And then alcohol. So not all alcohols are terrible, but a lot of like, have you ever seen like alcohol in products or heard of it?
Yeah.
You like, so it's not terrible, and sometimes you need alcohol to make like oils mixed with, you know, certain waters and creams, but you know that's gonna be the one you want to watch out for. Mainly it's just seeing the ingredients and then understanding how the product. So if you put something on your hair, on your face, and you're like, oh, so this doesn't, you know, it doesn't really do it. Look at those ingredients. So you see about 6-7 ingredients. Okay, boom. Then you try something else. Okay. And you see, okay, did it work better? Okay. Did it have the same effect? Now what's the difference? Mm-hmm. And that's how you're gonna find it, because even though we might have similar hair textures, certain, you know, small ingredients as far as, you know, on the label, you might be able to get away with using, you know what I'm saying, versus me, not so much, you know what I'm saying?
And so, okay, I don't know if this is supposed to go before or after, but the hair types. So knowing your hair type, does that determine which product I get? Like, as far as shampoo, I'm just talking in a broad sense, like as far as shampoo or beard stuff or anything dealing with hair, does hair types determine what I buy, or does it matter?
It definitely matters. So I'll say this loosely. You know, your hair type, be it, you know, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, that's more so going to determine the actual products you can use versus, you know, things that people sleep on is like low porosity and high porosity. They determine your method. You know what I'm saying? So what you use, whether you put conditioner in first or whether you put oil or whether you use oil at all, how much you can wash. So that's the main difference. You know, how curly or kinky your hair is, that might determine your products a bit more, but determining whether you got low porosity or high porosity, that's going to determine, you know, what you do with these products. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And so how important do you think it is to, okay, well, let's go into the business side of your hair product.
Sure. Okay.
How important do you think it is to develop a brand and have a consistent brand? How important is that?
It's everything, man. It's literally everything. Like, I mean, we have so many real world examples, like Nike. Like Nike isn't. Nike knows who their target market is, and they've been so strong, so consistent for a plethora of years, to the point where now, and I think I seen a post like this on Instagram. You know, you can put up a dry fit shirt from who knows, like TJ Maxx or something, just pure plain white dry fit, and you can put up the same one, same material, everything. If you look in the tag, and they put Nike across it, they can charge $65 for this one, versus this one was selling for $13.74 or $94 or something like that. So that's how important branding is as far as a business.
And then how do you keep the brand? That's I think a lot of people will struggle with, you know, having something. There's one thing to have like a brand, but there's one thing to keep the brand. So how do you think you, as the creator of Rich Royals, has done on, you know, keeping that brand and staying consistent with it? How do you keep the brand?
How you keep the brand?
Yeah.
So like, okay. I think I understand what you mean. So mainly it's just gonna be consistency and showing up, man. Consistency and showing up, making sure you're posting, making sure you're talking to the audience. And a big thing is, like, let's say, you know how we talked about target audience, right? A lot of people, they'll blow up with one target audience, and then they start seeing money, and they're like, the first thing, the innate thing to do as a business owner is, hey, I want to make more money. I'm selling to these people. What's the first thing you do? Try to sell more products to more people.
More people, yeah.
Versus really doubling down and focusing on that audience even more so.
Maybe fine.
So that's one of the real mistakes that it's a temptation for a business owner, because expanding is gonna get you quick money, but it's not the best long term. So just making sure I'm in it for every single day, months, weeks, years later, that I'm really waking up thinking about the target audience that I set out to when I first started it.
Okay, so you think that's like the biggest mistake that business owners do is like they kind of scale too quick or just kind of get out their lane. Like if I'm selling to a certain product to black people, and now let's sell a certain product to white people, and like stuff like that, like getting out their lane, so to speak.
Yeah, in so many words, to be honest. Not that you can't.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying like they not having like the wherewithal, like going too fast type thing.
100%, man. So not necessarily going too fast, but not having that compass set.
Oh, okay.
Because you can go fast if you're in the right direction. Right. It's gonna be 100% fine. But generally, when you're starting an entrepreneur, going fast, you don't necessarily have the abilities to go that fast and be this on target or in the right direction. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. And I actually got that from a book called 2 books, The 22 Laws of Branding and The 22 Laws of Marketing. That's like my that would be the equivalent of my Bible in like a religion. You know what I'm saying? So as far as branding, marketing, those 2 books are live and die by.
Okay. And then what's some like branding tips that you can give some people out there?
Okay. Branding tips. I hate to sound repetitive, man. Yeah. Your target audience, you need to know them inside and out. Like when I walk up and down the street, like especially in Charlotte, like I can point somebody out there and I'm like, he watched my YouTube videos.
Oh, for real?
I swear to God. Like I can go at least 80% from the field.
Right.
And we'll get in the area and I'll be like, yo, I promise you that dude watch my YouTube videos. Boom. And then we'll get in the spot and he'll be looking at me and stuff. Guys aren't like fangirling, so they're like, it's almost like they want a problem, so they looking like, who's this over here? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at them, they looking at me, they're like, why are they looking at you like that? And then 10 minutes later, hey bro, you on YouTube? Yeah, bro, that's me. Yo, should I watch your videos? Take off the hat. Oh, show me the twist and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
But nah, man, that's how in tune you got to be with your target audience. And don't think because you're focusing on somebody, you're disqualifying everybody else. Right. Because a lot of times a bullet is more powerful than a basketball because it's more pinpointed. You know what I'm saying? A bullet goes through your skin and it'll bleed out. Versus a basketball, it's so broad that the force it's not enough to penetrate anything. You know what I'm saying? So really focusing on that target audience and understanding who you're talking to, man.
Wait, question. Have you ever been someplace and somebody staring at you really thought they had a problem or something like that?
No, yeah, man. I was me and my boy Jarris and T, man, we went down to Atlanta and we went to a business, we went to a certain business with a certain clientele and a certain type of, you know what I'm saying? So we in the line for it or whatnot, right?
Right.
And same situation, the guy was in front of me and whatnot, and we in Atlanta, so we like, okay, we're good, but we gotta make sure everybody else is good. So dude turns around, looking and whatnot. He a little bit taller than me, so I'm like, okay, boom, okay, he just looking around. he does it again, and I'm like, okay, boom, okay, he does it again, okay, we chilling. And he does it for the 3rd time, I'm like, okay, let me tuck my chain in, let me get active. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know what's about to happen. And he's like, hey bro, same situation. You do YouTube? Oh shit, okay. Oh yeah.
Now I can.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. I thought it was this. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you thought it was that.
Bro, I thought I gotta be on guard, man. I'd be like, okay, I don't know what's going on.
Well, at least you on point with the joint. Well, at least you on like your head on the swivel and stuff. That's pretty cool too, though, because that I would think like people's was if staring at you and shit like that, you would probably get weirded out like that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But then when you think about it, bro, you done came a long way with your whole brand, your whole man. Because when you came out with the Rich Royals, I was really proud of that because we have a lot of products out, but it's not like it's It's not like seeing like your boy doing it.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? Like somebody
that.
you know doing it.
Yeah,
so it's like it hits differently. So what can we see from King Bril in the next like year or so? What can we see
in the next year or so? Sheesh,
Yeah,
I gotta make it past tomorrow. No,
yeah.
Really the past 6 months, I haven't been, producing content as much as I should, as much as I know I should, like I told you, the consistency, but, cause I've been really focusing on like the logistics. It's very hard to be as high as you can be as a creator and as a businessman. So I've been tightening business systems and really trying to run the business and make it better. And now I have my systems in place where I have a little bit more luxury creatively. So you can expect, the Instagram posts to start coming back, the TikTok start coming back, YouTube videos start dropping. I'm actually starting another channel as well. It has nothing to do with hair, but a little bit more to do with business. Like I read a lot of different books, listen to a lot of ebooks, and that's like a cultural thing. Like even people who aren't entrepreneurs, they just want to learn, get better. So I'm actually start doing book summaries with the certain animations to basically explain it. So if you don't have 2 hours, 6 hours to read this thick book, I'll break it down for you in 5, 7, 10 minutes type thing. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Hey, King Bril on the Push Effect podcast, brother. Thank you for coming up here, my guy.
Nah, I appreciate you for having me, man.
Man, so go ahead, shout out your whole social media.
Oh, so that's at King Bril on all platforms. The underscore could be in front of the King Bril or after the King Bril, so depending on whether we're on Twitter or Instagram, whatever. But YouTube, King Bril. TikTok, King Bril. So make sure you guys follow Rich Royals Natural Hair Care on Instagram. Look for the watermelon shampoo dropping. A lot of our products are sold out right now. I apologize.
That's
a
good thing.
Yeah, it's a great bad thing to happen. Great bad thing to happen. But because I'm really trying to make sure I get these people what they want. After you sell out for the 4th time, it's not cool no more.
Right. It's just like they need that product.
Yeah, they need it now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can look for more products, more consistently work on staying in stock a lot longer. Yeah, man, just gonna keep pushing towards the sky and pleasing that target audience, man.
Okay. And then, one last question about distribution.
Mm-hmm.
So how does distribution work in terms of keeping that product on the shelves? Is it hard? Is it hard to like deal with like the manufacturers and stuff like that, keep the product on the shelf?
COVID made it different. It made it so much worse. Like right now, there's a national plastic shortage.
Oh my God.
So you can have your product in stock, right? And we talked about how important brand and consistency was, right?
Right.
You probably never noticed it, but a lot of your favorite waters, like water bottles, they may have changed very small things about their water bottle, but you just didn't notice it. So like for me, the certain cans, the certain jars, certain bottles, they could be sold out for 6 months. And then it's like, okay, do you completely change the branding, change the color? And most of my product line is black or clear, so dang, they don't have those bottles in this size. Do I go to amber? Do I go to blue bottle? Now I have to order labels, and now I have to, what I'm saying, or castor oil might be low this month. So it's just really keeping everything in stock ahead of time. And the hardest thing about content is you can't really judge when something goes viral. So if it goes viral and you sell out, you just got to kind of count that as a blessing and take it and roll with it. But yeah, man, it's staying ahead of the game and staying organized and thinking ahead. That's going to be the biggest thing. That's going to be the biggest thing in distribution. Because if you're last minute with everything, it's going to be hell for you.
I didn't know that, bro. There's so many things that's like been in a shortage. I didn't know T-shirts were in a shortage.
T-shirts are in a shortage?
Yeah, T-shirts are in a shortage.
Jesus, man.
I didn't know. There's just so many weird things that you would not think that's like in a shortage that's actually in a shortage right now because of COVID. But anyways, but I always like to end off the podcast with something positive. So I want you to give some advice to your future self.
To my future self?
Yeah.
I give the same advice that I would give to my younger self, and the same advice I'm trying to tell myself right now, man. Just become a voracious learner. Like, learn. Like, don't learn like you have the rest of your life to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know when the rest of your life ends. So, you want to be as wise as you can for today, and over time, if God will it, you'll be so much better a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now. So every day, make sure you try to learn as much as you possibly can. So yeah. That's it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. This is the Push Fed podcast. If you're watching this, subscribe to the. If you're watching this, subscribe to all the audio channels, and if you're listening to this, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I told y'all. I get it. Does that sound better, D? That sound better? Okay. This is the Push Fed podcast, and we out.